This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leaks, Pahrumph's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 25 is also brought to you by Silver State Health, Pahrumph's exclusive pediatric care clinic. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25 on this last Monday in March. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler, and today is March 29th.
Well, and once again, happy Veterans Day for the veterans that served in the Vietnam War. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating yet another fatal crash on U.S. Highway 95 in Nye County.
The latest deadly crash on US 95 happened Saturday about 5 miles north of Scotty's Junction. Few details have been released, but here's what we do know. 2 vehicles were involved in the crash, including one that rolled over after impact. Pahrump Valley Fire Chief Scott Lewis says 3 people were killed, including 2 adults and a child. We don't know the extent of any other injuries. The highway was shut down in both directions for hours after the crash, leading to a significant backup in both directions. Making matters even worse, a tractor-trailer caught in the backup tried to make a U-turn, then got stuck, blocking both travel lanes. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating. This is the 4th fatal crash on US 95 in the last 2 weeks. In all, 7 people have died in those crashes.
One person was treated for injuries after a single vehicle rollover crash in northern Nye County.
The crash happened on US 376 about 15 miles north of Round Mountain early Monday morning. A pickup truck pulling a travel trailer went off the roadway and overturned, destroying both vehicles. One person was hurt. Nevada Highway Patrol, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and medic units responded to the scene. Nevada Highway Patrol is handling the crash investigation. No other vehicles were involved.
And it's been a busy weekend. A 2-vehicle crash here in Pahrump results in damage, but no serious injuries.
The crash happened Saturday afternoon on Highway 160 at Jenny Circle. 2 pickup trucks were involved, and it appears one rear-ended the other. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units, Nevada Highway Patrol troopers, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue medics assisted at the scene. All occupants were checked for injuries. All patients declined to be transported to the hospital. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating this crash.
A number of minor crashes kept Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies busy over the weekend.
Several minor crashes have police and medics responding to the scenes over this past weekend. Monday morning, a vehicle versus bicycle accident occurred on Homestead Road, which sent the rider to be checked out at Desert View Hospital. The patient was transported by ground ambulance to the local facility. No one inside the vehicle claimed any injury at the time of the crash. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies have launched an investigation into the cause of a 2-vehicle crash that occurred on Sunday afternoon on Shadow Mountain near Hayes Street. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating a 1-vehicle accident which occurred on Highway 95 at mile marker 51 on Sunday. The vehicle went off the roadway and caused damage to the car. Luckily, no medical transports were required at the time of the crash. Friday night, a tractor-trailer lost a load of hay that caused havoc on U.S. Highway 95 and Highway 160 near the turnoff. One car had reportedly hit one of the bales, which caused the engine compartment of the vehicle to catch fire. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy, and Nevada Highway Patrol responded to the scene. No injuries have been reported.
We have your Business First Brief coming up right after the break, so stick around.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Pahrump Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 10,054, open to our veterans and our community. Stop by or give them a call.
Welcome back. President Biden prepares to unveil a plan to improve the nation's roadways. Consumer spending fell 1% in February, and secondhand store ThredUp opens for trading.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, President Biden is expected to reveal his $3 to $4 trillion spending plan to improve America's roads and bridges. Investors are watching a number of stocks, including Caterpillar and Vulcan Materials, which could benefit from the Build Back Better blueprint. The president will give the details Wednesday in Pittsburgh. The hope is to create 5 million manufacturing and construction jobs. Some contractors, though, are concerned that raising taxes to pay for the building could have a negative effect. In our economy watch, consumer spending fell 1% in February as that winter weather gripped the nation. Personal income tumbled 7.1%. And in the IPO watch, online consignment shop ThredUp opened for trading on Friday on the NASDAQ. The second-hand store quickly took a first-hand place with investors. Macy's and JCPenney sell ThredUp items in stores.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office is attempting to locate a man wanted for aggravated stalking, and they're asking for the public's help in finding him.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office says detectives began an investigation earlier this month into a stalking case. During that investigation, detectives say they uncovered evidence that Matthew Ursua had been engaging in a course of conduct that made the victim fear for her life and feel intimidated and harassed. The Sheriff's Office says Ursua has made several public Facebook posts and sent private messages about using violence against and abducting women by force. Based on information gathered during their investigation, Ursua is now wanted by the Nye County Sheriff's Office for aggravated stalking. If you know where deputies can find Ursua, you're encouraged to contact the Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000 or by email at sheriff@co.nye.nv.us. You can remain anonymous.
Well, the Board of County Commissioners were asked at the March 16th meeting to consider contracts for scrap metal disposal at the Tonopah landfill.
Danielle McKee, Contracts Administrator for Nye County, was on hand to answer any questions the commissioners had regarding the proposed bids. The bids submitted came from SA Recycling, Pahrump Valley Disposal, and Oaklease Construction. McKee explained that with other contracts they tried to award to the lowest bidder, but in this case the contract winner would be paying Nye County for the scrap metal, so they should choose the company that will pay the highest price for the material. The revenue for selling the scrap metal would be deposited into the Nye County Landfill Operations account, and McKee explained that right now the prices for scrap metal are up, and now is a good time to take advantage of that. Commissioner Carboni noted that there are several different types of each kind of metal. Commissioner DeBoer said that SA Recycling was vetted and recommended by Esmeralda County. Based on the bids and recommendations, the board voted to award the contract to SA Recycling. The county will receive $784 per gross ton of aluminum, $182 per gross ton of steel, $5,600 per gross ton of copper, and $182 per gross ton of iron.
With COVID restrictions being eased in many places, you might be thinking of planning a getaway. One place you can go to really get away is Los Angeles for a visit to the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures.
The Academy Museum is making big plans to welcome visitors to celebrate its grand opening. Programs will be offered beginning September 30th, 2021. The museum will offer a robust range of screenings, in-depth conversations, and programs for youth and families. Programs celebrating the cinema's rich past, present, and future will be presented in the Academy Museum's 2 theaters, the David Geffen Theater and the Ted Mann Theater. Viewers will enjoy films as intended with state-of-the-art sound and projection. Film series presented will celebrate a global spectrum of cinematic perspectives and practices across histories. The museum will also present conversations, panels, symposia, and lectures several times a month celebrating film, artists, and film history. Education and family programs will be ongoing at the Academy Museum in both the exhibition galleries and in the Shirley Temple Education Studio. Offered will be teen programs, family studio activities, and matinee screenings, and even school tours. Leading up to the grand opening, the museum will offer pre-opening programs on the Academy Museum's website. There will be film screenings and conversations with the artists, a conversation series, and workshops and education programs. Hopefully by September, we will be able to travel more freely. And if you want to plan a trip, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures is a great destination. The museum is located on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles and is near the Miracle Mile cultural hub that includes the Los Angeles County Museum of Art and the Peterson Automotive Museum. To find out more about pre-grand opening programs and all that will be offered at the museum beginning September 30th, visit the museum website at academymuseum.org.
I can't wait to go to that. Well, AAA has issued a report which says that wrong-way crashes have been increasing here in the Silver State. These crashes have been deadly in most cases. The average number of fatalities per year between 2010 and 2014 in Nevada was 7.4, according to AAA. That number increased to 8.3 between 2015 and 2018, a jump of 11.5%. The AAA Foundation says that the factors increased the chances of driving in these wrong-way crashes include alcohol impairment, older age, and driving alone. Las Vegas, being a city where many people come to party with alcohol and marijuana, mixed with the excitement, bright lights, and unfamiliarity of the layout of the city and roadways, can lead to a deadly end. AAA reminds people not to drink and drive and to remain alert. Drivers should stop if they feel drowsy, as fatigue can affect reaction time and judgment.
We'll be right back with more News 25.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Spring break is upon us, and many families are eager to go on a long-awaited vacation. However, the CDC is still asking us to hold off on travel to contain the spread of COVID-19. If you decide to go anyway, we have some tips to help reduce your risk.
Travel increases the chances of spreading and contracting COVID-19, so the CDC continues to encourage us to stay home, but some can't resist the temptation.
If you're going to travel, to make it as safe as possible, so try to avoid the crowds at something like an airport or bus terminal or train station.
Dr. Frank Esper is an infectious disease specialist with Cleveland Clinic Children's. He says driving is a safer alternative, but you'll want to avoid too many stops to reduce exposure risk.
Try not to eat out. So if you can pack lunches for that trip, or at least some foods and snacks, so that you don't have to stop nearly as often, that's also going to help.
He says outdoor activities are best, but only if you can maintain 6 feet of social distance.
If you do happen to be at a beach, that's great, but it's best not to be around other people. You know, it is better for you to be camping than it is for you to be at a resort.
The same goes for people who are fully vaccinated.
There's no difference between the travel restrictions of vaccinated and unvaccinated. Just because you're vaccinated, you may have been safe yourself, but we still don't know whether or not that prevents you from transmitting it to other people. So you might not get sick, but can you still transmit?
The CDC recommends wearing a mask in public, COVID-19 testing before and after travel, and quarantine upon returning home. At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
If you're leaving the state, Dr. Esper recommends checking pandemic travel restrictions as they vary from state to state.
Well, as the world marks the passage of the one-year mark since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic, volunteers with the American Red Cross continue to address the needs of families, whether they're reeling from the coronavirus or from one of many disasters that occurred in 2020. March is Red Cross Month, proclaimed by the U.S. presidents for nearly 80 years, recognizing people giving back through its life-saving mission, which is powered by more than 90% of volunteers. The American Red Cross has named March 24th Red Cross Giving Day. They ask that Nevadans continue to give to their neighbors and friends by donating, volunteering, or taking a class to learn life-saving skills. To learn more about how to donate, give blood, volunteer, or learn life-saving skills, go to redcross.org.
Desert Haven Animal Society in Pahrump has a lot of cats awaiting their forever homes. For today's Save a Pet, Darby O'Donnell has some tips for anyone looking to adopt a cat.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are in the cat room. So these cats specifically in the cat room that we're in are a little bit more shy. So they need families that are going to be very, very patient with them, that will allow them safe spaces, that are not going to expect this cat to go and adjust it quickly to a new home and in a new environment. So they're a little bit shy when you go and you approach their cage. A lot of them want to go and stay inside their little houses, or they'll go and they'll bat at your hand because they're trying to play with you, but they're not the most social ones. That doesn't mean that they're mean. It just means that they need a little bit more time and someone who has more patience for them to go and get comfortable in their new home. But there's tons of different cats in here. They have males and females, black and white, clear, complete black, calicos, gray tabbies, so many different ones, but they all just need a little bit of more time. So if you want to come and see any of them here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please make an appointment ahead of time, 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, it is getting warm, or at least the skies are clear today, but I heard we might be in for maybe a little bit of wind again.
Yeah, the wind is coming. You still haven't gotten that trampoline, though, so it'll be okay. Maybe it'll land in your yard tomorrow.
I can't wait.
All right, weather forecast coming right up.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. This is your Monday weather report. And what to report? Well, let's look. Fernie, Fallon, 57 degrees. Not too bad. Carson City, Tonopah, checking in at 64-degree highs today. Goldfield sneaking up almost to 70. Then this is where it's get interesting. Beatty feeling Grady at 80. Oh, yeah. Amargosa, 83. Las Vegas all the way up to 85. And in Death Valley, it's 92, almost too much for a high today. 58 for a low tonight. Here in the Paradise Pahrump, wow, look at us. Hey, 80 degrees. Yeah, right on. Down a little bit from our high today of 81. South-southwesterly winds to 9 miles per hour this afternoon. Just felt great. As the sun rose this morning at 6:34 a.m., I had a thought in my head, like, gee, I wonder when it's going to go to bed. Probably about 7:03. How about that? Winds kicking up this evening, northeasterly to 14 miles per hour. That's going to chill us out just a little bit as we head on into the week, but not too much. Look at this. Okay, 20 mile per hour winds tomorrow, but the highs still reaching 70 degrees, 74 tomorrow, sneaking up to 80, 85 by Saturday. Not too bad. And then the winds are going to return a little bit Sunday, Monday. And that'll knock us down just a few degrees, but look at those temperatures, 70s and 80s. Loving it, feeling like spring, absolutely, and maybe it'll just be a truncated spring. We'll just head on into another 9 months of summer. Let's hope, maybe. All right, back to the desk. It's Missy and Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. Well, we have a couple of things, and number one is that those jobs there at our community pool are still available. If you want to find out more, go to nyecounty.net. They have extended that deadline for the applications for cashiers and lifeguards. And we also want to tell everybody that there are some vaccination appointments available on nyecounty.net as well. Just click on the link and you can book your own appointment. You can also give them a call at 751-6313. There's also COVID-19 vaccinations appointments available at most of the pharmacies here in town.
Yeah, a lot of them, and even in Vegas. So if you're heading into town anyway, you can get your shot there as well.
Exactly. There is an Easter picnic happening there at Nye Communities Coalition this Saturday at 1020 East Wilson. And anybody who wants to come, it is a drive-through event. We'll, of course, let you know more about that and all the details later in the week. We had the wonderful neighborhood cleanup this weekend. We want to thank everybody for participating in that. And we'll have more on what the Baker to Vegas Relay Challenge has been canceled for this year. We'll have more on that in this week as well. But it's going to be put off for one more year for COVID. So, well, we're looking forward to that. But they're waiting until everybody's healthy.
Okay, I guess that's good.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Good night.